We are going to begin in child's pose. Come to hands and knees. Bring the big toes to touch and separate your knees a little bit wide. Rest your forehead on the mat and reach your arms forward. And let's go ahead and take a few long and deep breaths. Deep breath in, filling up the back. And deep breath out. Just one more breath here. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Normal breathing here. And now let's start to make our way into hands and knees. So place your shoulders right over your wrists and hips right over your knees. Spread out through the fingers. And then on the inhale, lift the chest up. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, round your spine, push the ground away. And breathe in for cow. Breathe out for cat, round the spine. Inhale, lift your chest, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, push the ground. Again, breathe in, moving with the breath. And breathe out, press away from the ground. Last round here. And then come back to a neutral spine. Tent your fingers here. And then breathe in for cow pose. Exhale, press back towards a child's pose. And again, breathe in, lift up to your tabletop. And breathe out, press the hips back. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, tuck the chin, drop the head. And breathe in, move in with your breath. Breathe out, press back. Again, inhale and exhale. And then make your way back to your tabletop. Walk your hands forward a few inches. Lift the knees, lift the hips into your first downward facing dog. Let's keep everything soft here and perhaps start to move around by bending one knee and then straighten the other. Pedaling out through your feet. Just waking up the body nice and easy. And let's keep the knees here nice and soft. Lifting the heels nice and high. Getting a lot of length along the torso. A couple more deep breaths. And now come forward to a plank pose. Bring the shoulders right over your wrists. Heels right over your toes. Very strong legs. Belly up and in. And breathe here. Now lower the knees. Lower all the way down to the floor. Place your hands right by the lower ribs. Point the toes behind you. Point the elbows back. Breathe in, lift for your cobra pose. And exhale, lower back down. And again, breathe in, lift your chest. And breathe out, lower. Last time, breathing, lift your chest, very active legs. And exhale, lower back down. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. Tuck the toes under, press back to your downward facing dog. Going to do this once more here. Couple more breaths here in your downward dog. One more breath here in your downward dog. And now come forward to your plank pose. Shoulders right over your wrists. Tailbone back towards the heels. A couple more deep breaths here. And now lower the knees. Point the toes. Lower all the way down to the floor. Pulling the elbows back, very active legs, hands right by the low ribs. And then breathe in, lift your chest. Breathe out, lower back down. And again, breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, lower, moving with the breath. And again, breathe in, lift your chest. Breathe out, lower. And let's go back into downward facing dog. Let's take another deep breath here. And now start to walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Once you get there, place your hands right to the shins or the thighs. Look forward. Exhale, fall forward, bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Arms by your sides. Find your Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet together, heels a little bit separated. Inhale, reach your arms up and over your head. Exhale, bend your knees, find a chair pose. Inhale, interlace your fingers behind the back. Exhale, fold forward over your legs, moving with the breath here, waking up the body. Breathe in, come back to your chair. Breathe out, come up to stand. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Breathe out, chair pose. And breathe in, interlace your fingers behind the back. Breathe out, fold forward. And breathe in, find your chair pose. And breathe out, come back to stand. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Breathe out, sink your hips into chair. Breathe in, lift your chest, interlace your fingers. Breathe out, fold forward over your legs. Breathe in, chair pose. Breathe out, arms by your side, back to stand. Breathe in, reach your arms up. Breathe out, sink your hips. Breathe in, interlace your fingers. Breathe out, fold forward. And again, breathe in, chair pose. Breathe out, come up to stand. And moving on here, breathe in, reach your arms up. Breathe out, fold forward over your legs. Halfway up here, exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands. Left foot back to a lunge, lower the back knee. Reach your arms up to a low crescent lunge. Keep your gaze forward here. Active fingers reach up through the sky, lengthening up through the torso. One more breath. Exhale, lower your hands down. Lift the back knee and now come up to a high crescent lunge. Strengthening up through your legs here. Same thing, lift up through your fingers. So we're lengthening out through the torso. One more deep breath. Now take a long deep breath in, get long. Exhale, lower your torso halfway. Reach your arms forward and by the ears. And exhale, lower your hands down to the floor. Plank pose on the inhale. Lower all the way down to the floor on the exhale. Point your toes. Breathe in for cobra on the inhale. Exhale, lower down. Downward facing dog. Press back. Now reach the right leg up and back. Bend the knee, open out through your hip. Flex the right foot here. Now square your hips, breathe in. Step the foot forward between the hands. Back foot forward to meet the right foot. Halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach arms up and over. Exhale, hands right at your heart. Left side, reach your arms up and over your head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands. Step the right foot back to a lunge. Lower the back knee. Reach your arms up. Keep your gaze forward here. Lifting up through your belly. so that we don't overarch at the low back. Couple more deep breaths. And now lower your hands down. Lift the back knee, strengthen up through your legs. Come up to your high crescent lunge. Holding it here. Very soft gaze right in front of you. Bending here through the left knee, left foot pointing straight forward. Couple more deep breaths. Now breathe in. Lower the torso halfway down. Arms reach forward and by the ears. Very active back leg. And lower your hands down to the floor. Left foot back into a plank pose. All the way down, chaturanga perhaps this time. Breathe in, lift your chest. Up dog. Breathe out, press back. Downward facing dog. Left leg up and back. Bend the knee, open up your hip. And now square the hips, step the foot forward between your hands. Bring the back foot forward to meet your left foot. Halfway up here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands right at your heart. And now reach your arms up and over. Flip your left palm, grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. On your exhale, side bend over to the right. Come back to center. Flip your right palm, grab onto your right wrist with your left hand. Side bend over to the left. Come back to center. And now find your chair pose. Bend your knees. Sink your hips here. And breathe in. Sink lower as you breathe out. Again, breathe in, sink lower, breathe out, breathe in, sink low, breathe out, and come all the way down, down, down. Have a seat and straighten your legs forward right in front of you. So the hips are grounded, legs are nice and active. Bend your right knee into the chest, cross it over your left leg. Keep the bottom leg active. Reach your arms up and over your ear and twist to the right. So either hook the left tricep to the right thigh or wrap your left arm around the right thigh. Right hand behind you. So getting nice and tall through your chest. Reaching the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Again, bottom leg nice and active. Come back to center, a little counter twist. And unwind the legs. Other side, bend your left knee. Cross it over the right leg. And bottom leg active. Reach arms up and over. Twist to the left. So you may wrap your arms around your left thigh. And left hand behind you. Lifting up through the chest here. A few more deep breaths. And come back to center, little counter twist. Unwind your legs. And now we'll lie down on the back here. So place your ankles right under your knees, arms down by your sides, heels in line with your sitting bones. As you inhale, lift your hips up to the ceiling, to the sky for bridge pose. Firmly root down through the feet and hug the thighs in towards each other as if you were hugging a block or a little beach ball in between your thighs. Keep your neck soft. And start to lower back down here. Staying here in neutral. Take a couple of deep breaths. And we'll do this again here. So on the inhale, lift your hips up to your bridge pose. Engage in the hamstrings. And then optional to interlace your fingers under. A couple more breaths. And go ahead and release and come back down. Start to hug your knees here towards your chest. Reach for the outer edges of your feet. Open the knees wide for happy baby. Take another deep breath in. Hug the knees. And start to lengthen your legs forward for Shavasana. Arms wide, feet wide, soft body. Feel free to stay here as long or as little as you wish. Namaste.